This is #Africa. Malawi's Rastafarians are cheering a court ruling that will allow their children to go to school with dreadlocks. This comes after a ban on dreadlocks in Malawi's British model state school system was imposed.
Ali Nansolo, a parent of one of the learners who was banned from school since 2017, said he found lawyers to fight the case. A court ruled in their favor. However, government had not implemented the ruling to public schools till January 14, 2020. Nansolo says it is important that children go to school.
If our children goes to school and gets educated, then we have answers to some of our problems, whether it's doctors, teachers, nurses, drivers or so whatsoever. Journalists like yourselves will need Rasta lawyers. So education is very important to anyone.
Nansolo's eldest son, Ishmael, who was among learners banned from school since 2017, said that he's relieved to finally be able to further his education.
Kuti pano patitha kuyamba kupita ku school chifukwa sinali osangala kwambiri ndi mmene zimakhalira timakhala pa khomo sitimapita ku school zimene zimakhala ngati kuti sindingakwanise zokhumba moyo mwanga nde makolo anga ndi amene anamenyera nkhondo imene kuti ndithe kumapita ku school boma inakhala sinatipase moyo umenewu kumanga kuti sinakatha kupeza mpata kuti tikhale ndi kuthekera kuzakhala ndi tsogolo bwino tikazakula tsogolo chifukwa maphunziro ndi amene amationetsa tsogolo bwino.
Despite the enthusiasm for Africa, the movement has not always been treated kindly by African governments. Human rights lawyers says this could not be the case as all children have a right to education.
Students should not amount to total negation of the right. So for these children that cannot afford, their parents can't afford to take them to private school, it's a total negation because then they can't go to school. Their only option is government schools, and if they're not allowed, then they can't go to school. So that's why we said, no, this policy is unreasonable. It's not justified in a democratic society.
After a decade of campaigning and organized protests, Ishmael and all the children of Jah, as Rastafarians call God, are now free to go to school.
Well, Botswana has auctioned licenses to hunt a total of 70 elephants in 7 districts. The first such hunting to take place since President Mokgweetsi Masisi lifted a 5-year ban on big game hunting just last May. Now, Africa's overall elephant population is declining. This due to poaching. But as home to almost a third of the continent's elephants, Botswana has seen numbers grow to 130,000 from 80,000 in the late 1990s. Well, officials say hunting is necessary. This to ease conflict between animals and humans, especially farmers who have seen their crops and infrastructure destroyed by elephants roaming outside their feeding zones. A spokeswoman for the Department of National Parks and Wildlife said the licenses would be for controlled hunting areas and that the auction was open only to companies registered in Botswana. Now, Botswana and its neighbours, that is Zimbabwe, Zambia, Namibia and South Africa, have in the last few years reconsidered conservation laws to try and balance the need to protect sought-after species, such as elephants, rhinos and buffalo, from poaching, while managing the danger they pose as they encroach on areas of human habitation. And finally, in Nigeria, a movie special effects expert is turning his talents towards helping the disabled. He's making hyper-realistic, dark-skinned prosthetics, hoping to tackle a loss of confidence from white or unrealistic-looking artificial limbs in Africa.
Michael Sunday's new hand makes him feel complete.
Wow, this is lovely. Wow, finally, I have my fingers back. Wow, amazing.
The 22-year-old Nigerian lost his thumb and 2 fingers in a car accident a year ago, but is now the recipient of a hyper-realistic prosthetic. In a country where most artificial limbs have, until now, been white or made from an unrealistic-looking material, Michael's is dark in color, matching his skin tone.
It has really helped me because I can go about my normal life without looking at my hand, without hiding my hands, or fear of discrimination or fear of pity.
The Lifelike prosthetic is the work of a former movie special effects expert, John Amanam. He developed an interest in prosthetics after a family member lost a limb in an accident.
You rarely find people with black skin prostheses. So I want the blacks, I want Africans in particular, to have a feel, to be closer, to have these needs solved within Africa. And I want to reach out to blacks all over the world as well, so we can have these processes accessible and at an affordable rate.
The prosthetics takes from 3 weeks to 2 months to create and costs upwards of 40,000 naira or $111. Amanam has no formal prosthetic training, but studied sculpting as an art student and has now set up his company, Immortal Cosmetic Art. Mismatched skin tones, he says, makes people feel uncomfortable with their artificial limbs, and he wants to restore their confidence.
And that was this week's edition of #Africa, but you can keep the conversation going online. Our Twitter handle is @Africa_ENCA. And we'll leave you with these pictures taken from across the continent this week. I am Dumela Mototwane. Until next time, take care.